then you wanted to vote yes. That's my contact at the headquarters. Let me get back with you on just a
I'd
second.
just like to air out my thoughts with you, if that's okay.
Yeah,
First.
talk to me. You was
All
there.
right, so
You was
I'll tell
there.
you what I. So
You
Adam
was
Aaron
you was
was
there
in
you was there in person.
Was he there in person?
You
No, he was not there in person.
you were there in person.
Yes, I was there in person.
He
Yes,
wasn't.
He was not.
Okay.
Yeah. He was on a space call.
Okay.
He could have been in the building.
Yeah, sure. He could have been in his office.
Dude, there's so much to unload. Let me just try and start with the beginning.
All right.
After I spoke with you, I saw somebody walking in the front taking pictures. Then she started walking into the stores. And I walked in one of the stores she went into, and I was like, hey, are you an AMC shareholder? She's like, yes, I am. And I was like, I guess you're here for the meeting too. She said, yeah, absolutely. And no, well, her name was Christina.
Oh, okay.
Her name was Christina. They did not let her in. Okay, it's really weird why they didn't let her in. She is a law professor for doing research on retail investors, right? And her boyfriend or fiance is also a professor in Kansas City. And they wanted answers. They're both shareholders. And they did not let her in. They also...
Why? Wait a minute. How many people were there?
Okay, good question. So there was about 8 total true AMC, maybe more, maybe 10, but let's just say 8 true AMC shareholders. And then a bunch of, what would you call it? Decoys. I'm going to call them decoys.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
They filled up the room with these individuals that all looked the same. They all acted the same. It was like, maybe I swear to you, it was like freaking Children of the Corn type shit. These are older generations. These weren't young kids. There was no young people there.
So they filled.
There were no young people there.
There were no young people there?
No, none.
They were all older people.
They were all older people. They were the ones that I thought were plants, that I perceived to be plants. I don't know definitively, except what I'm about to share with you.
Okay.
But it appeared as though they were all plants. They were admitted in, so we weren't allowed. So I met with a group of them that were just kind of loitering around.
Uh-huh.
And this is why I need to get my thoughts out, because there's so much to unravel here.
Uh-huh.
So I connect with a couple other shareholders. We go up to AMC Corporate, and they have security up the wazoo, like hired technical tactic kind of like people, right?
Uh-huh.
That can sniff out any harm.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so we go to the building at 12:45 because when I met Christina, she's like, yeah, I was trying to get in, but they wouldn't let me in. They're only letting people in at 12:45, and it starts at 1. So you basically had 15
minutes to line up and get in the building.
To line up, get in, get processed, and the lady in the front was fudging around. She was declining people, all kinds of stuff. It was a nightmare. And so, anyways, there's just 10 of us, and they're having a hard time just handling the 10 of us like it was on purpose.
Well, goddamn, what if 800 of us would have showed up?
That's what I was hoping for. I was hopeful. You know what? I will tell you, I'm just so thankful I wasn't alone, bro. I really am. I'm so thankful I wasn't alone. I thought for sure, just maybe just like last time,
Well, you had the Christie woman there, right?
Well, partially. I met her outside. They did not let her in.
Who else was there?
So Ethan Libowitz.
Ethan was there?
Ethan was there. They denied him because apparently AA fears for his life, yet he wasn't physically in the room. So that didn't make any sense. And they had
wow.
Dude, it was nuts, bro. It was nuts. So they didn't let him in, but they let me in. Don't know how that happened. But
well, they don't know you except AMC Robert.
Well, yeah, maybe
you don't have a face. You don't have a face.
So then, in any case, yeah, so we get in there, and there's already about, no joke, there's probably about 20 people already in the room. About 20 people already in the room. And it looked fixed. I even asked them, because when we went out, I was just like, hey, I noticed in the sign-in sheet, there was only about 8 of us, and I was like, but there's like 30 of us in the room.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they're on a separate sign-up sheet.
Yeah.
That's what they told me.
A separate sign-up sheet for what? Why?
I don't know. So, obviously you heard all the questions and everything like that, but, man, my heart's so grateful. I have such gratitude that the people that did show up, I mean, they seem cool as a cucumber, awesome people, and I'm just, I don't know, like, I'll say this 100 more times, I'm just so thankful I wasn't in it by myself. Because if I did, I wouldn't have stood up and asked questions, because I want to go below the radar.
Wait a minute. You asked a question?
Yeah, I asked about the FTX. You can hear me?
No.
What do you mean you didn't hear me?
It wasn't on the stream. I was waiting for AMC Robert, anybody named Robert or Bob to step up, and nobody ever did.
I spoke. I asked Adam Aaron about the FTX token, AMC tokens. That is so crazy. You got the recording?
Oh yeah. I'm editing it now. I'm high as shit, but I'm editing it now. I could be wrong. I may have missed. I remember somebody asking something about tokens.
Yeah, that was me.
I'll have to look at it.
Yeah, go back and look at it. And, so I am currently driving to St. Louis, Missouri from Kansas City. So
you got there. They were only letting a limited amount of people in. When you and the people you knew were shareholders got there, it was filled with a room of people you had questions about.
And saw a couple people lording out the front, taking pictures, and these are retail shareholders, so I just kind of waited in my car.
Yeah, that was Crystal.
Yeah, Christina. I meant
Christina.
Yeah, and then Christina started walking down the little plaza, so I started talking to her. I was like, hey, are you an AMC shareholder? She's like, yeah. So she happens to be a professor, super sweet lady. Her boyfriend's a professor as well. And
of law.
Of law, yeah. A professor of retail, like retail shareholders. So I couldn't tell you exactly what she does, but something involved and has to do with retail shareholders. And so I think she was just gathering information for either a story or a paper or something that great. I didn't get too deep into it. I was just glad I was able to meet with somebody and not have to go and think all by myself again.
I know. You were so nervous when you got there.
Yeah. So anyways, so we started talking, and as we were walking, I came across Ethan sitting down, and he was with Susan. And so the first thing Ethan told me when he looked at me, he was like,
who is Susan?
Just like that. And I love his direct. I never met the guy before, but
well, you said he was sitting with Susan. Who is Susan?
There's actually 2 other individuals that I've met. They came up together. They're all from different places. Their names are actually in they all ask questions.
Did Susan and Ethan know each other, or did they meet there?
There's Susan and I'm drawing a blank on the other lady, but she could be Susan as well. There might be 2 of them.
So all of y'all were just AMC shareholders and bumped into each other right there and now you followed. Now you met the other girl, Christina, and he met Susan, and y'all were all sitting together, right?
Well, we were talking outside, and then we decided to walk up together.
Right.
And as we walked up together, we found out that we weren't allowed to have our cell phones.
Right, that's when you told me about that.
No laptops, no nothing like that. And so that was a little bit unusual. Last time I was there was only 2 officers. This time there was probably about 6 to 10 officers there. Which was,
I wonder why.
I don't know, but that's just what I noticed. And some of them seemed pretty serious, like the real deal. Like they're outside hired help. But overall, the law enforcement were very respectful, very courteous. So, I appreciate the police department, their interaction with us. And then, so as we were there to get checked in, Ethan was turned away due to some kind of threats that I guess were allegedly that were out there or something, and so he wasn't allowed in for that alleged situation, which didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me because Adam Aaron wasn't in the room. The only board members there were John Merriweather and Kevin, what's his name, Connor, I think his name is. It was just those 2 gentlemen, and so. You got to give me a second because I'm driving and I'm not direction confirmed. So
Yeah, take your time.
All right. So then they don't let him in, and then I walk in and I notice Christina didn't make it in for some reason. And so I'm sitting there, they're ready to kick it off, and she doesn't show up at all.
And you're nervous as hell now.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there was always just a little bit of nerves because we have a ton of questions that need answers, and we're not getting those answers, right? So, and if we do, it's like partial, it's what it feels like. It's partial. We're kind of looking into it or that.
So you're in there practically alone.
Yeah, I sat alone. And, obviously, if you just listen to the call, you'll kind of hear everyone's question about with that. The results of the vote, and then not much else to it except I just exchanged information with everybody else as we walked out. Got some more details what happened with Christina. They didn't let her in, but she didn't really exactly tell me why they didn't let her in. But Ethan was able to tell me the reason why. That's how I was able to share the information I did with you just now, because because Ethan, Ethan had that situation or whatever, that alleged stuff, which I would have really appreciated, having Ethan there, because I think the ask some pretty straightforward, hard-nosed questions.
Well, as some kind of anchor that you can hold on to, knowing that everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, it does feel better when you've got a couple of people around you that are like-minded.
Yeah, it is. The Bible says there's strength in numbers. Also, though, if you recognize who you are, these people can't intimidate you, man.
Yeah. And I was already prepared for that in the event that would happen.
I know you told me you was.
So to kind of tie everything in, I'm actually kind of disappointed. I'm pretty disappointed in AMC shareholders. The fact that nobody wants to step up and step in, and everyone just wants to take it, just take it laying down, basically.
But wait a minute. What time did they promote this for?
This what?
This meeting, yeah.
I don't know. I think
5 o'clock. 5 o'clock.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. Now, I'm registered.
I didn't know that.
I'm registered. And I'll get a notification that'll tell me that right before the meeting, I need to go ahead and sign in so I can listen. That will be the earnings report. What you sat through was the vote. on the proposals. Now at 5 o'clock for Central, you will sit through the earnings report.
Yeah, I don't think there are a lot of people that sit through the earnings report. Once the Fox vote was done, nobody was talking about sitting through the earnings. It was a little bit unusual. I can tell you why we just got up and left. Everybody else did. It seemed like there was a done deal wrapped. No one was coming back. So didn't really give it too much thought.
So they're not going to let y'all be there for the earnings report?
I'd imagine they probably could, but we never talked about it. I mean, I can give them a call right now and see if they'll...
Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We'll watch it at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
The important thing is proposals 1 through 5